So Collision is tonight, and yeah, we got a card fully announced. They might add some few things now and there, but yeah, like not the most stacked Collision, so probably a little bit of predictions to go on, but yeah, not really to develop. So let's talk about it. So our first thing to talk about is the Divine Dominion will be back with their 5-minute, open challenge. Whoever can last 5 minutes can get a title shot. Probably going to be an indie. I don't expect to see the Divine Dominion on Double or Nothing. I feel like with this open challenge, it'd be kind of silly to just get this over and done with already. I feel like they can build this. Maybe they give us single hours or like something for 0 hour. I think they'll just do the open challenge on 0 hour, to be honest. But I don't know who they give. It could be any indie talent. It's so hard to call. I'm not particularly a huge fan of this whole thing with the Divine Dominion. I just think I don't want to talk about it. Either way, that's what they're doing. Will it be good? It's going to be something, all right. After that, we actually get the return of Samoa Joe in ring. Since his return in a tag match with Anthony Bowens and the Ops. This is the Lethal Twist, which is actually Jay Lethal and Lee Johnson as a combination. Now, where the fuck's Shibata? Where the fuck's Shibata? This should be Shibata. I'm pissed it's not Shibata. Why isn't this not a trios match either way? Why is this not a trios match between Shibata, Bowens, and Joe versus Blake Christian, Lee Johnson, and Jay Lethal? Why? Why is that not happening? I know Blake Christian had the match at Supercard of Honor. Maybe that's the reason why. But why is it? Are they just really gonna try and push Bowens as the ops guy? Like, Shibata's there. Joe should win. Shock. He should call out Ospreay after it. Continue that. And the Death Riders. I think we might get something for Dynamite with Bowens versus like Garcia or something. If I manage to call that, I swear I am the biggest genius of all time. I swear. But either way, I think they'll build something with the Ops and the Death Riders regarding the Ospreay stuff, and obviously the chasing off Dynamite. The match will be fine. I like Lee Johnson. I really do like Lee Johnson. Obviously, Samoa Joe's one of the best ever. Bowens isn't bad. It's just his character's ass. And then Jay Lethal can go. So it probably will be a good match. But yeah, I cannot state this enough. It should be Shibata. Why? After this, we actually get our AEW Trios match, Championship match, which is quite wild. We're getting Orange Cassidy, Roddy Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly as the conglomeration versus Shane Taylor Promotions, which Lee Moriarty makes an AEW appearance. What the fuck? And the infantry of Shane Taylor Promotions. Now, this is a very welcome surprise. I love Lee Moriarty. I think Lee Moriarty's great. I would like to see Shane Taylor. I think Shane Taylor would have been cool. I actually don't mind Shane Taylor. He's pretty good. But either way, the infantry I've not seen too much of. I don't really know the names off by heart either. But either way, this should be fun. I'm intrigued by this. You assume the conglomeration to win. I think to the FTR, I'll have some involvement, obviously, because of the tag matchup coming. But they probably set up for Dynamite. But either way, obviously Kyle O'Reilly called out Moxley too. So I wouldn't be surprised if Moxley or someone answered this after it, or Kyle grabs the mic after it and calls out Moxley for Double or Nothing. I don't particularly want that to happen, frankly. I don't want Kyle to have the match against Moxley at Double or Nothing, because it feels kind of, okay, here, damn. Like, I want this to be built. I want Kyle to dethrone Moxley. That should be the guy. But either way, I feel like this is a nice little pleasant surprise. I didn't expect to get the trios match here, especially with how the conglomeration is so focused on the tag at the minute, but also Briscoe called out Ciampa too, so the FTR stuff with Ciampa, and obviously Ciampa stuff's confirmed next week. That makes sense. I feel like this is a lock of what's going to happen. But the match itself, nice to see Lee Moriarty, definitely, and very nice to see the infantry too. This could be really fun. After this, we actually get another conglomeration member, Willow Nightingale, versus defending her TBS title against Red Velvet. Obviously, this is pretty cool. I actually don't hate Red Velvet. I think she's pretty good. I don't think she's, like, incredible, but she's pretty decent. She's enjoyable to watch. She had a great match with Mercedes, a while ago, obviously. And Willow's great, too. This is fun. I wonder what they set up with Willow going forward. Obviously, you got the match on, on Double or Nothing, her versus Windsor. So, either way, they're probably going to set up that at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a promo. This to think, with the Owen happening and the brackets now announced, that's got to be the goal for a lot of these people. Willow's in the Owen, so there you go. So's Windsor. But Red Velvet getting a shot here, I'm not against. This could be really fun. I like Willow. I like Red Velvet. It's nice to see a lot of people who are mainly on Ring of Honor nowadays getting on to AEW. And because Ring of Honor isn't their NXT. You know what I mean? I love Ring of Honor. It's not their NXT. So I don't know why it's presented as that sometimes. But either way, Willow getting a TBS shot again. is pretty neat. I'm happy about that. But after this, we actually get our AEW Men's World Champion yet again. He's fucking nuts. We're getting Darby Allin having another match against Sammy Guevara. Genuinely. Why? Why is this not Speedball? Why is this not Roosh? There's the two. That's the biggest question. Why is it not either of those two? That's the ones that make sense to me. Obviously, they've been building Roosh up for this title match with Darby. Are they just going to deliberately do that at Double or like they would go home for Double or Nothing next week? But I mean, Speedball literally called the guy out, well, called the title out, so that could have made sense. I just don't get why this is Sammy Guevara. It doesn't, like, I call people out when they say, oh, there's no build here. Sammy Guevara, I don't want Ring of Honor, so I couldn't say. It doesn't make sense to be Guevara. I don't like Sammy Guevara. I think he sucks. And the only reason I can think that you bring in Sammy Guevara into this is to get the Jericho stuff back. You know, I think they're going to build Jericho with Guevara again. But I just don't think Sammy Guevara should be having the match against Darby here. Darby, and I don't think the match will be bad. I think I've really much got to say that. The match won't be bad. It's just Sammy Guevara versus Darby. Just, you had the run. You've had Pac, you've had Kevin Knight, you've had Tommaso Ciampa, you've had Brody King. You know, the run and Takeshita last week. The run they've had is being incredible. You could have had anyone like Hechicero, you know what I mean? And look, people like that, you know, and I just don't think this was the call. It's a collision match if I've ever seen one, and honestly, you could kind of go, oh, it's the 4 pillars thing. Fuck out of here. I don't give a shit. I just don't think Guevara is the answer. And very rarely am I this critical of AEW with the choices. And again, the Darby reign's been this good. The Darby reign's been insane. Like, genuinely insanely good. For them to pick Guevara is a bit odd, but hopefully they've got a reason. I'm willing to hear them out. And the match, again, I think the match will actually be pretty decent. I just don't think... I just don't get why. I just don't get why. But that is our main event. Assuming we'll get something with Max, obviously, with the, you know, the stip for Double or Nothing's match. And yeah, I do think we'll get an announcement that it will be Darby versus Roosh next week. Hopefully, because they've been building that for weeks now and we need to just get it over with. So yeah, that's my predictions for the card. Anything else that's not announced? I feel like Statlander and Shida having a bit of a moment, obviously, because because obviously the match with Jamie and obviously Tekla, you know, there's a lot of stuff there you got to get more build to. The big thing for me is, one, are we going to see something with Okada? I feel like that would be a big thing. I would like to see something with Okada. Obviously, Takeshita too. Takeshita and Don having a bit of a moment, obviously, would be really cool. And honestly, I think the obvious ones, Ospreay and Mox, we're going to see something regarding that. You know, even with separately or with their story, probably going to get more build. Max the same. I just feel like this is good. This is good Collision. It sets up a bit. It's not the most integral. It doesn't feel like, oh my god, you need to watch Collision this week. No. I think you could have added another match. I think you could have added the Tommaso Ciampa match easily. I wouldn't have been against that. I fucking love Tommaso Ciampa. But either way, the card's fine. It is. I just, again, to be honest, I just don't get Guevara versus Darby. But the card itself, match-wise, will be pretty good. There's some good talent on there, and that's what I like. That's what I like to see more than anything. So yeah, that's my thoughts and predictions for Collision tonight. Let me know what you think's going to happen in the show, and what do you think about Sammy Guevara getting a title shot, because why?